Let's have a look at headings and paragraphs in HTML. I've gone back to my CodePen that I created in the last video where I put an H1 heading in and I changed its color to blue. So I'm just going to hide the JavaScript editor again. Okay, so the important thing to note is you can have one H1 heading per HTML page. It's the most important heading, and so if you think about that logically, the most important one is the only one. There is one H1 heading per page, and this is useful information design to remember. There is one title of the entire page. This is it. So how do we create other headings? Well, there you can type in H2. This is the second level. Oops. Oh, goodness me. Sorry about this. Level heading. And end H2. Just going to go Command S and save that. There we go. So we now have the second level heading here. I'm just going to move that over so we can see it a bit more clearly. Now, the thing to note is that this doesn't mean that if I do another heading, okay, if I wanted two headings on the same level, so this is the second level heading and I create another one, we would not put it as H3. It can be another H2. This is another second level heading. So if you think about it from an information design point of view, you can have multiple second level headings. So you might decide the H1 is the title of the entire page. The second level headings will tell us what the different sections of the page are. So for instance, this one could be Happy New Year. And, you know, telling people, I hope you had a great new year, blah, blah, blah. And this could be current specials. Takes a little while to catch up. There we go. And so we could have another section again and say H2, what else? Our friendly team. You know, way too many exclamation marks, but this is a newsletter, so why not? Okay. So this gives us the H1, the most important heading, and a series of section headings, the H2 ones. Now, similarly to what we've done before, we can tell it we want to change the H2 color, and you'll have a lovely sophisticated color palette soon, but today is not that day. I'm just going to put color red, and you'll see that it changes those immediately. Great. Now, you don't stop at H2. In fact, what I recommend for this project is you look at having 3 levels of heading to guide the user through the information. And so there you would have an H3 one. So let's just pop that in here. So Happy New Year. Welcome to 2021. And you see how the syntax repeats itself. We start with our pointy bracket. We tell it what the tag is. And this is an established tag that the browser recognizes. You can't just make up your own tags. We're using H1, H2, H3, and it goes all the way down to, I think it's H6. I'd have to look that one up. But you can't go down to like H15. No such thing. Because remember, this is looking at a level of importance, not where it appears on the page. And you can tell that because we've got H2, H3, and then we've got H2 again. It's the level of importance, and I can't emphasize that enough. So we've got an H3 bobbing along in the middle here. So we might have welcome to 2021, H3, new membership deals. Ooh. I'm going to practice my typing. There we go. Okay, so you can see we've got a couple in here. And we might do the same with current specials. So what are we selling? I don't even know anymore. So H3, new plants. Oh, no more exclamation marks. Oh, H3. Bulbs for the season. And what's something else we could have? Current specials on plant pots. Great. H3. There we go. Okay, and our friendly team, H3, the Melbourne crew, and we may also have the Sarawak crew. Terrific. Okay, wonderful. So you can see now that our newsletter is starting to get a structure because we're creating headings to guide the user through the levels of importance of our project and give an informational structure to our page. So now let's add paragraphs. Now, a thing to remember with the paragraphs is that there's just a P tag. So if I want to have Happy New Year, welcome to 2021, it's just pointy bracket, P, pointy bracket. This is a paragraph. You don't have P1, P2, P3 because a paragraph has just one level of importance. So welcome to 2021. We're looking forward to a great year with you as our customers. And then we do the end P. There we go. Lovely. And you can add that after each of your H3s, and that will give us a really nice structure to the information on our page. So new membership deals, and it's a good idea to put real text in. Don't just chuck in some lorem ipsum because I will guarantee you will miss some of it. There's actually products that are released to market occasionally that still have lorem ipsum, and it is very, very embarrassing. So think about what would be relevant to your users and support their needs. So new membership deals. If you have a health care card, we are offering 50% off membership for you. There we go, etc., etc. And you can start to see it filling in your page. Now, one last thing, just say we also want to have our H3 heading to be a different colour. Now, I could create another one here, but if we want to use a pre-existing colour, just say we want that to be blue as well, we can put a comma here and H3 and have a look at what happens. So a comma creates a list, so you can put multiple different instructions here, selectors we call them. Now, one last thing I will show you is if we put a comma and H2, nothing happens. Why? Because browsers are stupid. Browsers only remember the last thing that they read. And if it's reading down the page, the last thing it read is that H2 needs to be read. In fact, if I take this out, I go Command X and cut it, you'll see it will turn blue. But then when we give it a different instruction further down the page, it turns back red. We'll be revisiting this later on. Right now, I'll delete the H2 there because it's just redundant. We don't need that there. And this starts to give us a bit of a structure to our page. And you've learned how to create headings, subheadings, and how to create paragraphs in your HTML newsletter.